Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, 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 check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, cool.
So, hello? Good on. All right. Hopefully this is gonna, hello? Okay, hopefully this is working now. Good morning. I want to thank you all for coming this morning. I'm here to notify Harford County citizens about a public safety issue created by the unethical conduct of the Harford County administration, specifically County Executive Robert Casselly's appointed County Attorney Jefferson Blomquist and County Executive Robert Casselly. Last week, an executive member of the Harford County State's Attorney's Office took leave from work on an emergent basis for an extended period with the approval of the Harford County Department of Human Resources. This employee's responsibilities include many high-level tasks necessary for our office to function every day. With this absence, I was required to assign those duties to other office members. The reassignment requires the cooperation of the Harford County Government Administration and County Executive Robert Casselly. One of the items requested after consultation with the Department of Human Resources was to obtain access to the employee's electronic mail inbox to access official State's Attorney's Office email correspondence that this individual receives on a daily basis. These emails include invoices, contracts, personnel actions, and state and federal grant correspondence that simply cannot be ignored for any period of time, let alone the extended period of time we are facing. At this time, Mr. Casselly's County Attorney Jefferson Blomquist is refusing to provide access to this important information to which I am entitled in retaliation for my referral of a recent investigation into their conduct, an action which Mr. Casselly himself endorsed just this morning. I attempted to resolve the issue professionally, but I have been ignored. Our inability to have access to these vital communications will interfere with and without question prevent my office from completing numerous vital functions. Prior to Mr. Casselly taking office, multiple agencies under independent elected officials have been able to maintain and operate their technology on the Harford County server without issue or interference. This can only be accomplished when our elected officials are acting and making decisions ethically and professionally. Unfortunately, this is no longer occurring. As a result, the Harford County State's Attorney's Office is forced to seek an emergency budget amendment to fund an independent data server to ensure that the county administration no longer can access the State's Attorney's Office's confidential and privileged information, nor ever again hold hostage my own office's official electronic data and information. Early estimates project the cost for full network independence to be in the millions of dollars. It is a travesty that I am required to request funding further burdening the citizens' tax dollars due to the retaliatory and immature decisions of leaders whose offices require and you expect to serve the best interest of our community. In addition, I will be taking legal action requesting that the court order Mr. Casserly and his administration to provide me access to my office's own data. It is important to state that additional tax dollars and resources will be spent on lawyers and legal fees defending the Casserly administration against his display of political gamesmanship. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And I am imploring Mr. Casserly, his Director of Administration, Robert McCord, and County Attorney Jefferson Blomquist to re-examine their administration's deliberate and retaliatory stonewalling of the operation of the state's attorney's office. More importantly, I, as your state's attorney, want to state publicly that I will not be bullied or retaliated against for making the ethical decision in referring an investigation to the Office of the State Prosecutor for independent review. That matter that led to the Casserly administration's retaliation against my office was outside of my jurisdiction and presented an inherent conflict of interest, which as attorneys, Mr. Casserly, Mr. McCord, and Mr. Blomquist know. As state's attorneys, it is essential that I always do the right thing. Based on Mr. Blomquist's response to my routine request, the Casserly administration believes I should have made a prosecutorial determination to their political benefit, even though it would have been unethical and an abandonment of my oath of office. I will never stray from the ethical choice in any situation, no matter how difficult it is. Our citizens deserve better than the Casserly administration's actions and decisions in harming the functions of the state's attorney's office by holding our office communications hostage as an act of retaliation against me. My office is responsible, along with our law enforcement partners, for protecting our community. The Casserly administration's actions violate his supposed commitment to public safety and deliberately and maliciously disrupt the essential operations of my office. This type of political malevolence distracts resources in my office away from our primary responsibility of holding offenders accountable for their criminal acts. Our community is entitled to be informed of this, and I urge you to contact Mr. Casserly to express your feelings and your county council person to vote for the emergency funding to take my office's electronic data away from the Casserly administration. Rest assured, however, that no matter what retaliatory roadblocks the county executive and his administration send my way, I will do whatever is necessary to ensure that our offenders continue to be held accountable for their crimes and that the Harford County State's Attorney's Office continues to lead the way in being tough on crime in Maryland. Thank you. I will now take any questions.
How much is the emergency budget request for?
We are putting together a comprehensive amendment at this point, but it is predicted to be in the millions of dollars because we will have to get independent servers, internet, shared drives, emails, etc. So we don't have an exact number because unfortunately we didn't anticipate this occurring, but at this point that's the projection.
And how is this impacting any cases for your office right now?
Other than distracting our employees from doing their jobs and making us stand here before you today instead of prosecuting criminals, I would say it's not going to directly impact the prosecution of cases, but it certainly is taking our resources and focus away from where it should be.
You mentioned several times political, although from what I can tell you, it's not party political, it's some sort of internal political politics within the county. So what do you want Harford County citizens to know so they don't just dismiss this as some like inside baseball thing? How will this actually affect their everyday lives?
So as I stated, all of these correspondences that are coming to this mailbox include our invoices, our operations every day, invoices, contracts, grant funding, things of that nature. I want, quite frankly, this to not be any part of politics. This has to do with our office needs to function as it does every day, and we need access to those communications that are coming directly to our office in order for us to function every day.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
This has, in my experience, I have never heard of anything like the technology problems that have been occurring in Harford County happening anytime prior than the current administration.
And this is really awkward, but the county executive is right here. Have you tried to speak to him in person?
I have, Mr. Blomquist emailed me, I responded back, I asked for a response, and I have had zero response to those emails in any way, shape, or form.
So what I'm hearing you say is it sounds like you're alleging that this is retribution
That's correct.
for referring the investigation about the allegations of wiretapping and email spying to Mr. Howard.
The email that I received directly related the denial to that, yes.
Can you speak to what that email said?
It said, how is this any different than the situation you referred, which I would submit it's completely different. And we won't do it because of that.
You mentioned a court order. When will you file that? Or how
So we have attorneys working on the filing at this point. I can't speak to exactly when it will be filed, but I would expect soon.
and which court would it be filed in?
It would be filed here in Harford County,
In the
Circuit Court for Harford County.
Can you guys step back and give us a timeline of sequence of events, kind of recapping this for people who might be parachuting in, learning about this for the first time?
As to our specific set of details, this individual went on FMLA last week, and after that occurred and it was approved by the Department of Human Resources, we had a conversation, our office had a conversation with the Department of Human Resources about everything that needed to occur in order for those duties to be reassigned to other individuals. That occurred on Thursday morning. I did not receive any response until Friday afternoon. On Friday afternoon, I received the denial from Mr. Blomquist. I asked for further response and discussion by the end of the day, but still, as of the time of this press conference, I have received no communication.
Ms. Healy, can you speak to now you being involved further, I imagine, in this sort of political infighting in the Republican Party here in Harford County? You would almost expect this from different parties, but
Sure. I am here not as political infighting, and in fact, that's what my message is that for me to have been involved in that investigation would have been me participating in political infighting. Instead, I chose to not be involved in that infighting, to refer it for independent review, and yet here we are with my office's functions being disrupted as a result of that decision. Okay, thank you.
well, that was awkward.
No, so look, I think what was unusual, Ms. Healy was talking about first. What's the first is that we've not ever seen before a state's attorney come out here in public and try to attack a sitting county executive over a political matter. That's what's unusual. I mean, this forum right here used to have the Booth family would come here and do play acting. Unfortunately, that's what you're seeing right now, and it's really not in the interest of the public. Ms. Healy asked my office and me to provide her with emails owned by someone else on the county server. Folks, that's exactly the conduct for which she referred me and my office to the Office of State Prosecutor. It's the same conduct. And as an attorney, she knows that. And this denial that this is somehow different than that, it's the same. So what's up here? Why are we playing these political games? What's this all about? Well, I'll tell you what it's about. Ms. Healy, Mr. Penman, Councilman Penman both have the same political advisors, they have the same financiers, they have the same supporters, and those supporters are angry at me. Why are they angry at me? Because I run the most ethical administration this county has ever seen. I have angered their supporters by stopping development projects that were improperly granted, by pushing back on zoning legislation that would have allowed them to recoup unreasonable benefits at the cost of the county citizens. And they're pissed off, and that's why they're coming after me right now. This is political theatrics. This is a political hit job. Councilman Penman attacked me for repeatedly, and then he supported the Fallston Apartments, and he wants to distract us all we can right now, because that's bad news for him. This is a distraction. This is that distraction. Allison Healy threw out this nonsense of this criminal referral to the Office of Special Prosecutor because she wanted to try to embarrass me, and now it's come back on her. Look, the simple solution is she's engaging in poor office management. Why doesn't Allison Healy have the passwords for her key employees? She says this is a key employee. Why would you not have the password of the key employee? This employee is accessible to her. Just get the passwords.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why would you're not supposed to share your password?
Well,
I'm sorry. People are going to hear that response from you and say no one's supposed to give your password to anybody.
Well, she can call a key employee now.
Give your
she can.
passwords out.
You have to give your I have to share my password with my deputy director. I'm sorry, with my director of administration and my secretary. Yeah. What if I die tomorrow? They have to have that. They have to have immediate access.
So that's legacy. I'm sorry. I just don't. I've never heard anyone say
that's how we conduct it. But the reality is, this stuff is accessible to her. This. Oh my gosh, this is theatrics. This is intended to come out and embarrass. This is a hit job done for the purpose of her primary supporters. They have Penman and Healy have the same political advisors, the same political supporters, and those folks, every one of them, I'm their top target, and that's what this is. This is a hit job, and I think it's unfortunate that we have a state's attorney and a county council member both misusing their offices to inflict political damage on a sitting county executive. And I think it's just regrettable to see that, and that's what this is.
Sir, what is your reaction, though? She's alleging retribution, retaliation on your behalf?
That's absurd. That's absurd. No retribution, no retaliation. What's absurd is that she turns to me and says, hey, what I just have asked you to be indicted for, the same conduct, I want you to now do it because it would benefit me. I'm like, what are you kidding me? This is Keystone Cops? How absurd would that be? So to me, this is like entrapment. Oh, after you did it once, let's see if you can do it again. Hey, yeah, would it make all the sense in the world for all of us to step back and recognize that the county administration needs to have access to the records that are open to the public? Yeah, are these public records? We don't deny these are absolutely public records. Some of you already gotten all these records from Freedom of Information Act requests, so they're public records. But for some reason, the powers that be in here want to have this new law that says, yeah, but when I guess what they want me to do is say, Bob, here's a Freedom of Information request to yourself. Now that you got the FOIA request, now access the records to yourself and go back. So she can pursue a FOIA request, but apparently our tried and true formula of me just saying, hey, you need some records, we'll review the records. If there's any confidentiality that applies, they will be screened out and you'll provide the records. But public gets these records all the time, so we're not hiding anything.
And I'm sorry, I'm late to the party, so
Sure.
I'm trying to understand, and obviously none of us know what goes on internally in anyone's office, but it sounds like she's accusing you of improperly accessing emails. You say that wasn't improper. So if you say she's trying to do the same thing, and you said it wasn't improper, why can't she do it?
Because I've told her, if you'll acknowledge that this is not criminal conduct, I'll give you the records. But currently, you're still saying that's criminal conduct. And you're still standing behind your referral to me and my administration for criminal prosecution for doing exactly what she's asking me to do now. That's absurd. Come on, let's get real here, folks. This is the theater of the absurd.
So then you aren't withholding the access for an administrative reason. You just said you are withholding it because you're waiting for her to admit something to you. That doesn't sound like protocol.
No, I'm asking her to touch. She's the lead criminal prosecutor here. Allison Healy is the one who decides what conduct is criminal and not criminal in Harford County. In the first instance, that's what she does. Well, I thought that me in my office, accessing the county server to obtain emails was a completely legal thing to do.
Okay.
Allison Healy comes on the scene and she says, oh no, it's not. I'm referring to the office for potential criminal prosecution. And then she turns around and says, oh, I need some records off that server. I'm saying, wait a second, if when I needed it, it was a crime, and now you need it and it's not a crime? Come on, Allison, which way is it? Let's be honest here. You can't have when it benefits her, it's not a crime. When it benefits my administration, it's a crime. That's an absurd result. And all I'm asking her to do is say, pick one, Allison. Is it a crime or not a crime? If it's not a crime, you get the records. If it is a crime, none of us get the records. And yet, is her conduct, conduct in thwarting the proper administration of government here in Harford County? Absolutely it is. But she's the criminal prosecutor. She decided that this is the law. I think it's an absurd interpretation, but that doesn't mean you won't go to jail for an absurd interpretation. So obviously, I'm stuck abiding by her absurd interpretation of the law. And she's pursuing this personally, who's pursuing the vendetta? I think that what the vendetta being pursued here is the fact that I have really thoroughly frustrated all of her major contributors and her political advisors, and they're coming after me because they want to take me out. So that's what's up here. If you can't see that, folks, it's right there. It's plain as nose on your face. This is a political hit job.
It feels deeply messy, though.
It's deeply messy. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. It's unfortunate. It's embarrassing. And to see my fellow Republicans attacking me repeatedly here on the public square, and I've tried to step back, and I've tried to do these matters in private, but repeatedly they've come after me in public, and this is to take me out because the big guys do not like Bob Castley out here doing the work of the citizens. I'm here doing the work of the average citizen. I'm the guy who's leveling record fines on developers who don't adhere to the environmental regulations. I'm the guy who's shutting down major development projects, not once, not twice, but 3 times across this county. And if you don't think people are pissed, they are really angry at me right now, the big guys, not the average citizen. I'm here, look, I'm a vet. To me, my credibility, my character is absolutely imperative. I'm standing by it. I'm doing the right thing. That's what I do. That's what I do each and every day, is come out here, do the right thing for the citizens of Harford County, and I'm doing that now. And Ms. Healy needs to check her. She needs to check. She's a gut check in there and figure out where we're going with this, because the prosecutors is an important job, and it doesn't belong at the altar of appeasing your contributors and your political advisors. Let's do the right thing.
What is your comment on the state prosecutor's criminal investigation?
I don't have any comment on that. That's not anything I know anything about, so sorry.
It sounds, Mr. Castley, like Ms. Healy's framing it as she referred it for an independent investigation, not for criminal referral, but you're taking it as a criminal.
Ms. Healy was very clear in what she was doing. She issued a press release, a public press release. The conduct that was referred over was clearly not criminal. There was no conflict for her to say, hey, this is the county public server. The county executive is lawfully entitled to access the public server. And that's the bottom line. And that's basic law there. And so if she's going to stand by that, oh no, maybe this is a major criminal violation, maybe this is a wiretap, which is all absurd, then I have to stand by that interpretation, because she's the lead criminal person in this county, and I have nothing to say on that until that's resolved.
I'm sorry, you mentioned Councilman Penman. Isn't that he the councilman who took you to court because you withheld his paycheck when you first took office?
No.
No. Isn't that the same?
No.
That's not the
different
same?
count.
It's a different,
No.
it's a different
That's not.
style.
No,
Okay.
different.
I thought it
different
was
matter.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Different matter.
So
But
what
this
now,
is
Mr. Castley?
the third time that I think in a year and a half or almost 2 years that I've covered someone alleging your administration of doing something unethical.
Yeah, it happens repeatedly.
Sorry if I have the name
Yeah, they
wrong,
keep
but-
making these allegations. In my first week in office, they accused me of being unethical. And then within the second month, they were accusing me or the third month, accusing me of misappropriating $7 million. Then they accused me of wiretap violations. Yeah, this stuff's going to keep rolling. As long as I keep pushing back on the big guys who want to control this county, as long as I keep pushing back on that, you're going to see these kind of nonsense allegations. And they're going to push them out to the media. That's what's up here. This is a hit job. This is do what we say. We've controlled this county for 50 years, and how dare you, Bob Castley, come in here and pretend to do what the citizen and operate in the interest of the average citizen. That's an affront. That's an affront to the powers that have controlled for far too long, and I'm not going to do that. I'm 3 years in Iraq. I sat there every day watching 18-year-old kids go out and risk their lives and sometimes lose their lives to do the right thing. I don't give on this stuff. I do the right thing each and every day. It matters deep in my heart. That's what you're going to continue to see me do, is do the right thing each and every day. I don't say I'm always make the best decision, but I've tried to do the right thing each and every day, and that's my motivation, that's my gut check, and I'll stand behind that any day. And I welcome Ms. Healy to, for once in the last 9 months, to walk down amicably to my office and say, hey, how can we work this out? That's not going to happen, though, because we're playing politics. Hitman politics, and you don't talk nice when you're playing hitman politics. This is the politics of personal destruction, and I've been the victim of it for the last 8-9 months repeatedly, and just wish you all would look at the facts as you're reporting these things, because this is utter nonsense.
How does this?
I'm tired of it.
How does this end? How do we move forward? I can imagine a lot
I've been
of people
trying to move forward. I've been trying to move forward with all this stuff repeatedly, but there's just this, kind of gotcha. I have no idea if this is a legitimate complaint that she's got right now or not. I don't know whether she's actually got an employee. Is this an entrapment? I don't know. She may be goading me for another entrapment. I'll give her these records, and she'll turn around and say, oh, guess what? Referring you to the Office of Special Prosecutor for another possible criminal indictment. So I would love for people to come and sit down with me and actually discuss things. And I have a record on that. You all remember when I was out here with Superintendent Paulson, and we were butting heads pretty tough on the school board issues. And I meet with them every day practically. We sit, we have coffee, we talk. Because we butt heads on policy. We butted heads really hard on policy back during the last budget with the school administration. But you know what? I go over to Sean's office every other week, or he comes to my office, we sit down, we discuss, and we work through things. Because these are tough policy decisions, and they can upset some people pretty bad. But I have a long track record, and you look, I left the Maryland Senate. I was one of 47 senators. I left there with 46 friends, and I can call any of them to this day, and we can have civil discussions. Did we butt heads on the floor of the Senate? If you were paying attention to anything in the Maryland politics the last 8 years when I was in the Senate, you know that I was butting heads big time. But they were always professional, and I'm not petty. I'm happy to turn around and discuss things. That's my reputation. And now I come back to my own county, and it's vindictive.
Right there.
Yeah.
You say you're willing to discuss.
Yeah, I've always been willing to discuss, right? All kind of matters. So here's okay. So now we're.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, ma'am. He just said he's willing to talk. He's willing to come just talk to you. You want to just come talk?
Yeah. Well, not on the we wouldn't do that on the cameras. I'm sorry. I'm not. That would just be playing into the political theater.
This is Harford County policy. She just handed it to me. It says, keep passwords secure and do not share accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was confused about.
Yeah.
You said why aren't they sharing their authorized users are responsible for the security of their passwords. And you said it was county policy that you're supposed to share passwords.
No, I never said it was county policy to share passwords. What I said was a key individual, if I'm a supervisor and I have a key individual under me whose emails are essential to the daily functioning of my office, it's entirely proper for that administrator to obtain a password. That doesn't violate that policy at all. The same as
No, it would.
The
you want to
people
take a look?
shouldn't. They
This is
shouldn't
different
be
from
sharing
what
their
you.
password.
I only asked that. I'm not trying to get you, but I've never heard.
Yeah.
You take cybersecurity training. That's the number one thing. And you did say it's county policy, and you said you share your password. You said that.
No. Yep. With the deputy. I'm
But
sorry.
this
My deputy.
county policy is do not share your password.
Well, you know what? First of all, what the policy said, what it said was keep your passwords secure and do not share accounts. We're not sharing accounts, right?
It
Authorized
says,
users.
do not share.
Authorized users are responsible for security of their passwords and accounts. System level.
We are.
Yeah, you're getting into semantics because the reality is, if you're that critical, I'm sorry, I've worked at security things up and down all over. If you're a key person, you can't lock your account down.
No,
but that's you're getting a side on this.
No, I think she's saying this is routine. This is HR stuff.
And all she needs to do, the
magic.
magic bullet here is just come back and tell me this is not criminal. That's what she needs to do. It's easy. This is not criminal. This is not criminal conduct. Right? Allison can acknowledge that real quick. She could have handed you a letter right now saying, oh no, when you access an employee's records, that's not criminal conduct. When you access anybody on the shared server's records, that's not criminal conduct.
All right, well, how about the employees' records you accessed? Were they on emergency FMLA with HR authorization? She's saying this employee whose access she asked for had emergency family leave and had approval from the HR department, and you denied it. What about the accounts?
Wait. I did not deny the emergency family leave.
No,
I think you misunderstood her.
Denied access to the email password for the person who has
so
that account.
She got the facts out. I'm not disagreeing that.
Did you have the same for the people you're accused of accessing their email accounts? Were they on emergency leave? Did they have approval?
I'm sorry. Your question is just it's a non sequitur.
No, it's not.
No,
you're
it is.
comparing the two things,
I'm comparing it.
If you're going to compare
you're
the
confusing.
two things,
No.
you got to compare the basics of the two things.
The law is clear here. The law is clear. It's whether what she's accused me of is a wiretap, of doing something illegal by accessing the county server to obtain the email of another person. Okay? That's what she's claiming is a criminal conduct. Once you get in there, then you deal with rules and regulations, which are not criminal. Violation of these is not criminal, right? There's no criminal aspects. Her allegation is that, ma'am, yeah, I got you. Yep. And her allegation is that I violated it, that I conducted a wiretap by accessing the public server to get somebody else's email. Once you do that, that would be the wiretap. It wouldn't matter why, whose, or how, or what they were. You access the public server. That's the allegation. No. And if you got on there and nothing was there, that wouldn't change that it was a wiretap. If you got on there, it was your friend's email. It wouldn't change that it was a wiretap.
She was saying, you're the one who
Okay,
the two.
sir, what is stopping you right now from speaking with Ms. Healy or speaking with Mr. Penman to make some forward progress for the benefits of Harford County taxpayers?
So, look, I'm happy to talk to Ms. Healy anytime.
Right,
she's my office.
She's right there.
We'll try. Okay, but we're on public TV right now.
Mr. Castle, you made multiple references to the big guys in the county that you're upsetting, the advisors and the contributors from Allison Carey and Aaron Penman. Who are some of those people you're referring to?
Well, I'm not going to do your job. You go and research that. You got access to the campaign contributions. You know who's political advisors. You know who's sharing political advisors. You know who in this county is employing on their staff their own political advisors at six-figure salaries. You all know all that already, and for whatever reason you choose not to report it. I don't know why, but it's there. So just feel free to help yourself to the information you've already got about who's backing who, with what, how much, and who's employing whose political advisors on their staff. It's there. It's there. Just access it and look at it. Look in your own records. It's in your own paper. Okay? All right? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Walk off you.
Well, at this
rate, I'd like to keep it on.
Stay on.
Do we interview that guy now?
I have already spoken to him.
That's very drama for today. Ooh. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. This is good. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is great.
I can send it to 6 if you want. Here, you want me to get that?
But I guess my take about all this is, you know, when is the county executive going to take responsibility, professional and personal responsibility? What a shit show.
We just took cybersecurity training for the third time.
I just can't think of many people who give a fuck about this.
Will you take a picture of this?
It's just messy politics.
Yeah.